Hello and welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Eric, joined once again with
Derek.
bringing you some more General Hospital from March 25th to the 31st, 1993. Tommy, I'll roll the credits and we'll chat. So we call this the Brenda Years, though. I guess we'll talk about Brenda first. What an asshole she continues to be. Um, her stuff starts with Robin telling Holly. Holly just got back to town from being out of town with Bill. Bill and Holly both got back. Robin tells Holly that Brenda has been staying with her, and she says about the situation. She doesn't. I don't think she says it's Brenda, but she's like, "What would you do if like a good friend did something, shitty, and you know it's true, but like, what are you gonna do?" And Holly gives her some advice.
Mhm.
Robin really can't do anything because Robin wants to be friends with Brenda and Karen. Doesn't understand why everybody just can't get along. I guess. Um.
Robin
So
could
we
have
find
helped
out.
Karen and she didn't. So that's
What's that?
Robin could have helped Karen and she didn't though, because she saw Brenda with the computer and she was wondering what was going on.
Yeah, but she really couldn't have done anything with that. Like, what is she going to say? Like, I saw Brenda typing up something. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it wouldn't have gone anywhere for Robin.
Yeah,
As I
probably.
feel like because Robin knows, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And she does defend her at like the little meeting, the committee that they have.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I feel like she does as much as she can do. Um, she can't prove it. Like, what are you going to do?
Hmm.
So we find out Karen is going to lose the scholarship today, and of course Jason's on the committee of nerds that they have there, I guess. Um, Karen tells Robin and Jagger that Brenda did it. She continues, she knows that Brenda did it. Rhonda talks to Jagger at one point and makes him feel like shit.
That makes
She's like, "It
me
made you mad?"
yeah. Robin, I don't know. Rhonda has no business messing with her daughter's love life like that.
She doesn't, of course, but she wants to. I guess she wants better for her daughter because I guess they're kind of.
She's like, I don't think there's. I think there's still hope for Jason and Karen. I'm like, no, there isn't.
There really isn't, especially now after this. And she says to Jagger to let her go. Basically, Jagger
Right.
still doesn't. He doesn't seem to be. I guess he might take that into consideration eventually, but like right now, he still seems to be into Karen, and he's being there for her.
Hmm.
Karen confronts Brenda in front of everyone at school. I like that she's like, "What if I walk away from Jagger? Like, would you? And
Uh,
would you? What if I gave him up and then like let you have him?" Um, and Brenda actually like waited a minute and like was thinking about it, like, oh. And in that moment, Karen's like, well, now I know you did it for sure because like we would even think about it.
hmm.
And then
No.
Brenda gets all asshole like, and she's like, oh well, if you keep bothering me, I'm gonna like sue you for harassment or something. I'm like,
Sure, Brenda. With what
oh
money?
my Brenda. I don't even know. Like I almost feel like she convinced herself that it's true. There's
Yeah.
only the one part that I was a little confused about, which what it ends with. But
Hmm.
Karen and Jagger still, she's upset. Jason is deciding if she is guilty or not. Um, Brenda gets to Jason to continue to make Karen look bad. I guess kind of swaying him because now that they hooked up one time, she's like, oh, maybe I can just sway him to, vote in my favor, which he does.
Hmm.
Jagger and Karen come along. Um, Karen goes into the little meeting. Brenda talks to Jagger. You don't believe her, do you? Like, I'm like,
Hmm.
he has no reason not to. I mean, we all know Karen. We all know how she is. I get it doesn't look good because like you can't prove it. Like she can't prove anything. So unfortunately, the committee is right in my. I mean, I don't want them to be, but they kind of are with what they have. Robin, knows the truth, but so Karen has her meeting with Jason, Robin, and the whole little nerd group.
Hmm.
Um, Karen gets out of her meeting. Brenda's still around. The students discuss Karen. Robin kind of stands up for her. She's like, I know how Karen is. She never would do that. She never did it before. Why would she do it now?
Hmm.
But again, it is what it is. It's on the disc. It's everywhere. Like, you can't prove otherwise. Of
Right.
course, it comes down to Jason having to break the tie. Karen guilty or not, Jason found her guilty. She gets no scholarship money.
Yeah. And
Brenda and Jagger talk. Karen um, leaves and she smacks Brenda as soon as she gets out of there.
that was great. I like that.
It was great, but I almost wish she would have punched her. But I guess it
I
would.
wish
We wouldn't
she
have
would have
them.
fallen down or something. Like she deserved a good punishment.
Yeah,
Fall down.
totally. She needs something. Like I'm tired of her shit, and I don't know if she's even felt like guilty. This is what comes up in it.
Except maybe at the end she started feeling a little guilt.
Right. That's what I was confused about, but we'll get there in a minute. So Karen tells her dreams of going to college. I always wish, I always wanted to go to college growing up, and blah blah blah. Says it to Jagger. She asked Robin if Jason voted against her. Robin's like, it's Jason that. Jason tells Karen that he did. He's like, I'm not ashamed of it. He brings up, she says, oh, I would never cheat. And he's like, well, when you and Jagger were away for that night, they're like, nothing happened that night. Like, what are you talking about?
Hmm.
Whatever. Jason's still butthurt over that shit. Um, Jagger brings Karen to a boxing. What is that called? That place where Sonny, the gym, I guess.
Uh,
I think it's called something.
Palominos or something like that, or
Yeah.
I forget.
He teaches her how to hit a boxing bag. He's like, pretend it's Brenda, which is funny, and she starts punching pretty good.
Hmm.
Jason and Brenda start talking shit about Karen. Robin defends her again. And then next scene we see Jagger and Karen are smooching in the ring. And yeah, like I think at that one part, because Robin says something to Brenda, she's like, "Oh, I forget what she said." Like before she went upstairs, she said something, and then Brenda was like, "Ah," like it almost looked like she felt bad, but I almost feel like she's gonna double down. I
Yeah,
feel like she's gonna like, I don't know. I just have a bad feeling about it
yeah.
because she wants Robin on her side, and I don't know. Just Brenda's pissing me off to no end.
And I thought Jason was gonna do the right thing and clear her for a minute. I was like,
Me
well,
too.
I'll see the truth. I think he knows Karen well enough to know that she didn't cheat.
Right.
But I don't know if this is because he is just following the evidence or if he actually like is holding a grudge. Can't figure out what I think maybe it's a little bit of both.
I think he knows the truth, but again, he did say that they were just looking at the evidence and it just didn't look good. I mean, like, how could someone
And
get in your locker, change everything?
that makes sense, but I mean, I feel like Karen can contest this because of the personal relationship she had with Jason, but I don't know if I'll go there. But
Yeah, I don't know if there's time. They might, they might. I don't know. Um, Whatever. So I guess we'll do Sean and Tiffany because they weren't on too. Well, they were on a lot, but like
mhm,
not much progression.
no,
Holly gets back. Her and Tiffany catch up. Holly tells Tiffany to focus on her own actions and not Sean's. Tries to give her some good advice. Doesn't really. I don't know. I'm trying to understand Tiffany here. I guess she's just in grief. So, like you said before, like with her sister passing, like she just can't get out of this. Like she's mad at Bobby,
the nail on the head too, where he was like, "Yeah, you're upset that Cheryl didn't leave custody of Lucas to you, and you're taking it out on Bobby."
right? And she really is, and Tony too. Like she doesn't really. I don't know. She's just not. It's not clicking with her. Like I wonder if this like she'll ever get out of this. Like
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, but I don't. It just seems so negative, and it's been months. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, what else? Sean brings Tiffany his wedding day when they talk. And they kind of have like a nice moment. she's like, she doesn't know how to handle the situation. She's just like, I don't know. She asked him to go see Lucas with her, which is nice. I thought they did it off screen at first, but it's like a few episodes later they go see, and I'm like, oh, was it the same day?
Right.
I'm confused. Um, so we had a couple of times without them. Later on, Sean and Tiffany seem okay. They visit Lucas. Bobby says that he's adjusting well. Tiffany's acting a fool still. Tony and Bobby just can't get through to her. They're like, listen, you can do what you want, whenever. And she just ain't getting it. She's just not getting it.
Mhm.
Tiffany does an asshole move, a manipulative move, and she says that she'll bring Lucas to the zoo in front of him and everybody, which is very awkward. Bobby's like, Tiffany's mad because I think Bobby wanted to put Lucas to bed. He probably has a certain bedtime,
Mhm.
and she wants to stick to it. Tiffany just isn't getting anything. Like, she just thinks Bobby's just ruining everything. Which makes no sense because I feel like Bobby's going above and beyond, like, to
Mhm.
give her what she wants.
Yeah.
I think she mentions, like, oh, you can go to the zoo as long as Sean's there. um, so
Well,
there's that.
Bobby also doesn't trust Tiffany. She thinks she's gonna try to pull something.
Do you blame her?
No,
I
I
don't
don't
blame her.
blame her at all.
Right. Sean kind of defends Bobby. Tiffany gets all mad at him.
Mhm.
Bobby tells Sean about the phone book, which we'll talk about in a little bit with the Ryan stuff
Mhm.
that Bobby interjected herself in. Don't cross storylines; it's harder to talk about. um, Jessica and Sean, she invites him out for drinks with her and a bunch of people from work. She's like, feel free to join us if you want later on at Outback, Mac's place.
Mhm.
Tiffany and Holly, of course, go there as well because what always happens. Um, Tiffany dances with Bill. Sean comes in while Tiffany and Bill are dancing. Um, she gets jealous when she sees Jessica. Sean makes her sit down, tries to get through to her. He doesn't. She acts a fool again, whatever. Then Sean's like alone. Jessica comes over. She's like, hey, how about a nightcap? Which is leading to what, you know,
Mhm.
you know.
We know.
And I know soon. I still want to. Well, I guess I mean they're just in whatever. He needs someone to turn to. I feel like, and it's just gonna lead down
Mhm.
a rough path for them. Holly and Tiffany, or no, Tiffany and Sean, of course.
Mhm.
I guess we could get the Bill stuff. Bill's everywhere in this. he's like he's in everybody's storyline.
I'm glad the art stories over though. For the most
Is
part.
it though?
I
Is
don't
it?
know. I didn't see it, so it was
I
nice.
hope it is. Um, so where is he? So Paul and Bill catch up. He finds out that Paul signed his shares over to Ned. So he owns 50% of Pier 5 now.
Mhm.
He did it to protect Jenny, so that they would lay off the tape or whatever situation. So he swayed Ned that way. Gave Ned like everything he has basically. Holly's still mad at Bill because he didn't tell her about Victoria. Sly comes along, so Sly's still around, and he's pissed off at Bill. Um, Bill said that he has lots of stock in ELQ, and he rubbed it in Ned's face at the end. Do we know how he got stock in ELQ, or you don't know?
No. Mm-mm.
I wonder where that came from.
Yeah, I do too. Probably
Um,
the cartel that he got it from, uh, because Paul. They mentioned Paul was married Tracy to get her ELQ stock or something.
but did Ned not know that before?
I don't think he did. I think Paul was working with um, those people.
Uh,
Yeah,
I
one of
guess maybe
that.
maybe Bill didn't have to do anything before because
Hmm.
Ned was not on his radar.
Yeah.
But now, since he's pulling shit with Jenny and with Paul, he's over it. Um, so Scotty tells Bill not to lose Sly over a stupid painting.
I felt okay. So I felt bad for Sly for once in these scenes, and I wish Tommy were here because I could see his reaction to this.
I kind of felt bad too. I mean,
Yeah,
this child is being neglected basically by his dad,
yeah.
so
And
it is hard to watch.
I liked Sly in the scene, so I was like, okay, here we
Yeah, he was doing good. He almost looked different to me. I don't know why. I was like, is this a new Sly?
go.
Um, and I guess maybe because I haven't seen him for a while and I just forgot what he looked like.
Hmm.
Bill says he's going to try to buy Ned out. Ned says he's going to try to buy Bill out, and then they're just like, well, then I guess we have to be partners. This is how it is. Bill does try to make things right with Sly a little bit. He's like, "Oh, when's your game? I want to come." And Sly's like, "Yeah, I don't care if you come or not." So whatever, dude.
I'd be the same way if my dad was doing that. I'd be like, no, don't worry about it. Don't come back.
Yeah, I mean, I would too. I mean, he's been a shithead,
Hmm.
and he's been focused on that stupid freaking painting for nothing.
Right.
Again, terrible storyline that doesn't make much sense, which hopefully we're out of now. Um, Bill is out when Tiffany and Holly are out. That's when Tiffany dances with him and all that. Bill asks Holly to help at the bar. She's like, I'll do it, but you fired me, but I'll do it for Mac because he's not here. He's on the run with Felicia still. Um, um, and I feel like he probably already did, but I mean, again, it's a stupid storyline, especially if it breaks them up. It's stupid. I mean, not that I love them together or anything, but it just isn't a great storyline. Like, I don't know. She's mad that he didn't mention Victoria. That's the reason they're breaking up. I'm like, she's dead. You're still in love with it. Like, it makes no sense. I was like, whatever. It's really bad. It's probably like the worst storyline out of all of these. Let's talk about Jenny. Tracy prepares Marco for basically ruining Jenny some more on the stand because he has to be a witness. What does he have to be a witness for? Because like,
He's a witness. Tracy is paying him to testify on Sarah Kensington's behalf that Jenny was the one who asked him to make the tape so she could blackmail
okay,
her.
because I didn't really know how he was involved with besides just like her getting like she basically hired him to like find shit on her like as a PI
Hmm. Yeah.
out of his many duties that he does.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, Jenny's in court. Marco takes the stand, says she's hired him to make the tape. She's like, he didn't. She stands up, whatever, objection. Um, Ned goes off on Tracy as he usually does. They just been fighting like this whole time. Jenny's on the stand. She says that they met, that she met the congressman when she was 16, and everybody's like, "Ooh." Um, but yeah, not much happened with that because like it didn't really. Are they not? I guess they're not done the trial. Was that only just like
No, I
part of the
over.
thing?
They said the senator got a slap on the wrist, and like it's pretty much over. So which
And
makes
so
sense
in that,
because Jenny was 16. So I'm like, what is going on?
yeah, maybe he was paid off
I don't
by
know.
somebody. I
I
don't
don't.
know.
I don't really like the way the storyline's going. I'm not a fan.
No, it's
It's Jenny's just getting like shit on over and over again, and I'm tired of it.
yeah. I do like some of this, and then Tracy's a dick again. Whatever. So Paul and Tracy are talking. She's a dick, of course. Paul starts breaking Tracy's shit because he's over it.
I was.
Um, it was great, and she deserves everything she gets.
Mhm.
She's mad at him, and she's like, I'll rue the day or he'll rue the day when he messed with me, like type shit."
Mhm.
Tracy tries to get a restraining order on Paul. I'm like, so now Paul probably won't be able to see Dylan anymore
Yeah.
or go over there. Um, and that's basically it for that. Um, I guess we'll start talking about. Oh, the last but not least, Mac and Felicia shit, which
Mhm.
involves a lot of things happening. So we see Amy,
Mhm.
which I'm nervous for her. Um, Amy sees Sean. He wants Ryan. Ryan, of course, pops up. He brings up Michelle. He's like, "Oh, I hardly knew her," and he didn't know Gloria either. He says, but both knew him and disappeared. Sean says, so he's going to take them down for questioning. Um, Sean tells Mac and Felicia that Michelle's missing. Felicia is frustrated, not being able to do anything. They just have to wait in this room. Wait at that. What is it? That weird hotel or whatever they're staying at, or a house.
Yeah.
Um, Mac showers and she goes out. She goes to see Maxie. Um, Amy talks about the picture in the paper of Michelle to Ryan. Um, Felicia sees Maxie. Sean takes Ryan in for questioning. He, of course, denies anything. He's like, I know you killed Gloria and you probably killed Michelle. Um, he's like you can't be doing it. Like Sean is very in the wrong here because he's doing it without a lawyer present. I mean,
Mhm.
yes, it's true, but at the same time, he's just like questioning them, whatever.
Mhm.
Jessica comes in. She's like, "What's going on? Like, you gotta really some like you can't do what you're doing. Stop it." This is where Bobby finds the book on Ryan's desk when Ryan is out
Mhm.
or at the police station. She finds the initials in an address book of the people that died, and Felicia's initials are on there.
Yes, and they are not crossed off. So.
Yeah,
Mhm.
not yet. Ryan.
MB was below it and cut up, and it was crossed off. So I think we know what happened to Michelle.
Mm, um. Yeah, Ryan. Don't mess around.
Mm-mm.
Um. Ryan busts her basically being in his office, and she's like, "Oh, I wanted to tell you about the donor or whatever." And he's like, "I already knew about that. Doctor whatever told me." She's like, "Wow, it was exciting, so I wanted to tell you too."
Right.
Um, I don't know. He's suspicious of everybody, so he doesn't really believe her.
No.
Max says, I guess Sean came by and said something about that one girl, Linda's parents. Linda, his first girlfriend, fiance, whatever,
Yeah. The one in
who
college.
lives in, yeah, they went, live in New York City. So he's like, let's go to New York City and find them. So, Mac and Felicia head to New York City to see Linda's parents. Um, the cops pull them over on the way. Of course, we always have to have a cop situation. This kind of involves Ryan, but I just wanted to note that Steve and Audrey were on. It was nice to see them.
Hmm.
Simone heard from Tom.
Yes.
She reads the note to them, like he's doing great there and poverty and all this stuff, and he feels really good about being there. So I guess Tom's staying away until Matthew Ashford takes over.
Yes.
Um, and as I was watching this, I'm like, they missed such a huge opportunity with Tom. Like, he's Steve's son. Like, what? He's Steve and Audrey's son, right? Is he
He's.
both their son or just one?
I think so. I'm not positive. I think he's both their
Karen, where are you?
son.
um,
I'll text her.
yeah, yeah, right.
I'll send her the link.
Um,
Tell her to come on for a second.
make a special guest appearance. But they just missed a big opportunity with not having Tom
Yeah.
there, and I feel like Tom should still be there and should have always been there.
Hmm.
Um, and been written for. This is the same I feel about Days. Like they got rid of Sean and Belle multiple times, who was like two super couples, kids that they should have kept on the whole entire time. It makes no sense. Whatever. Anyway, he's not there. Anyway, Ryan talks to Simone. He's like, "Oh, you want to do dinner sometime?" And I was like, "Simone, girl, yikes." Um, she's busy with Tom Jr. She says. So back to Mac and Felicia. They get out of it. Whatever. He was pulled over for speeding. Mac and Felicia have parking tickets, or they have parking tickets under that car. Do you know where they got the car from?
No, I was wondering that too.
Because they found out that their car had parking tickets prior or whatever. Felicia's like, oh, I've been wanting to pay them off, whatever. They get out of it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
They go meet Linda's parents. They talk about their daughter dying. That Ryan had gone to school together with her. They were engaged. And that Linda died in a hit and run.
Right. Well, Ryan was conveniently out of town, supposedly.
He was supposed to be in California for something, but
Mm-hmm.
Mac and Felicia says that he might have been there for that and then like left town after or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a possibility he could have killed her. Steve tells Ryan, um, Steve, uh, oh yeah, Steve. I'm like, who's Steve? Steve tells Ryan that he doesn't like his games, and he would have been long gone if Tom influenced him in the past. Because Ryan, of course, accuses him of not being on his side or whatever. Mac and Felicia ask what happened leading up to her death. The ma says that they argued about a job that she was supposed to take or something. They would discuss it when he got back from California. Um, nope, because she did. Max says that Linda is blonde, and he's like, "And you're blonde," and he's like adding it up. Is this like Ryan, like a serial killer of blonde women? And she's like, "Well, what about what's that one girl's name? The redhead,
Gloria.
Gloria. What about Gloria?" He's like, "Well, she might not be. She might have been a natural blonde. We don't know."
And Ava Jerome is a blonde that goes after later. So,
Right. So it
mm-hmm.
sticks with everything. That's Ryan's. I can't believe Ryan was still around in the two like that late. Like it's just crazy.
He was
For all this stuff,
supposed to be dead, but
for all this stuff, yeah, like that we're talking about now, it just doesn't seem good for Ryan at all. Like, it's just funny. Ryan overhears Amy talking about the picture in the paper. Simone says, like you should tell Sean about that, whatever. Ryan asks Amy to dinner. And she's like, "Oh no, I have dinner with Gary tonight. That's her paramedic boyfriend." We find out, which we were talking about that. I don't know. Me and Karen, I think we're talking about if Amy ever gets another boyfriend or whatever, because she gets one where we're at in 82. That's
mm-hmm.
coming soon. So yeah, she is dating this dude. Um, and that's it for them.
Oh, Karen answered me. Audrey is his mother. Steve is not his actual father.
Ah, that's good to know.
Yeah,
But still, he was the father figure, so he should have still been.
right.
Yeah,
So he's technically not a Hardy, but he's adopted into the Hardy family. But
right. But I still feel like they could have used them well. I mean, he basically raised them.
yeah,
They still could have used them, and he should have been on a lot more than he is. I feel
yeah,
like he's always been back burner from what I've seen.
yeah.
I've seen him in the early 80s and currently. Well, now he's not there. So
Right.
he's always very back burner. So our last story is Dominique and Scotty. We finally got it. They're looking into the surrogacy. Although I still don't know how they're going to get there with how it ended. I was like, oh. They're talking to Tony and Bobby about it because Tony and Bobby have gone through this in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty tells Lucy about Dominique losing her sight because I guess Lucy was still out of town with Bill and that mess, that messy storyline. Um, he tells Rhonda about the in vitro. Sly asks Scotty to like go to a movie or whatever, and he even tells Scotty confides in Sly about Dominique's like dying, which I thought was
That's
interesting.
where I like Sly. He's like, "Well, I'll be here for you." I
I know
I was like, "That's so nice."
it was because sadly Scotty is more of a father figure than Bill is
I
somehow.
know. Poor Sly. I feel bad for him now. Like I used to can't. I couldn't stand him for the longest time, and now I'm like, poor Sly.
Well, you know why we couldn't stand him because he was probably vying for affection, and we didn't understand that Bill was being a shitty
Neglect.
dad.
He was being neglectful, and he was married
Right,
to Holly. But now I kind of understand why.
right. Now I totally understand why. Lucy runs into Dominique. Dominique asks her to be the surrogate after this long conversation. It was a really, I like that a lot.
Yeah, and I think Dominique is like I love the way she did it, and I think like Lucy's reluctancy is but I think she's starting to feel bad and wondering if she can do this.
Yeah, well, she is for a little bit, and then,
Yeah,
Lucy asks if Scott knows. She's like, I did bad things. You sure you don't want me, basically.
hmm
Dominique says people change. We find out, well, I didn't know, but Lucy had lost a baby with Scott,
yeah, I didn't know that
that
either.
she lied and said it was Alan's, so she felt like guilty about that. She felt like she
hmm
didn't deserve a baby, I guess,
Yeah,
um, instant karma type. Dominique says she just feels right about this, and she doesn't want to leave Scott alone. So she just feels like Lucy is the good candidate for it.
hmm
Lucy bumps into Tracy. Um, Tracy's like, "Do it," and she's like, "You need the money or whatever." She's like, "If I do it, I'm
hmm
not doing it for the money," and she storms out. Um, Scotty finds out, of course, and he's like, "No, Lucy, no, no, never." And he
yeah,
seems like curious too, because he's like, "Did she say what she would do? Like, is she is she thinking about it?"
mhm,
Um, Dominique says Lucy had been a good friend, right? Like, she's been a good friend to me. She's been doing whatever.
mhm,
And then Scott and Dominique talk about Lucy. They continue to talk. He thinks that Lucy will screw it up. He does not think it's a good idea. Dominique says we don't have much time. Lucy changed. He's like, she's selfish. They kind of go back and forth. Dominique says we need a fighter like Lucy is. Um,
mhm,
of course, Lucy's walking around. She sees this pregnant woman feel her baby kick. I'm like, oh God, we got
mhm.
to be cheesy like that, eh? Whatever. This is the shit Days does too, all the time. Scott accuses Lucy of conning Dominique when he bumps into her later on.
Mhm.
He brings up the past, and he's like, "I'll never let you be near any of my children," or basically something like that. Um, Scott talks to Dominique. He's like, "We got to get someone else. It can't be Lucy. There's hundreds of people we can interview." And Lucy is pretty devastated by the conversation because I guess she felt like her and Scotty were friends. I feel like Scotty's just like acting out because that's what he does, and his woman's dying. So I feel like he's just taking it out on Lucy, basically.
Yeah.
But as like Dominique convinced me too, because I'm like, you're right. Like
Mhm.
she does, it would be a good idea because they were both in each other's orbits. They'd probably co-parent well. I
Mhm.
think Dominique has actually like thought about it and really believes that.
And I think she's also setting up for Lucy and Scott to get together eventually when she passes. I think that's what she's thinking.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hmm. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Um,
Not telling
and last,
Scott that, of course, but I think she has that in the back of her head.
yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
And the AJ stuff.
Mhm.
Jason and AJ talk about what he will do with the check that Alan wrote. Alan and Monica are on. Monica's still blowing off Alan. I like that Gail and Monica are still close because if you watch 1982, where we're at, they're very close.
Mhm.
Because Monica and Gail talk all the time. Um, in 1982, like she's trying to get her help. Well, she kind of is mean to Gail because like she's taking it out on Gail. What's going on with Alan back in '82? Because
Mhm.
Alan had cheated on her and all this. Of course, one of the many times that they cheated on each other. So anyway, it's just fun to see that they're both like their friendship is still 10 years later.
Yeah.
Um, Gail and Monica chat. She tells Gail the truth about Alan, and she's like, "What do I do?" Gail's like, "I don't know." She's like, "I don't know what to tell you."
Right.
Monica tells Alan they gotta tell AJ the truth. Alan's being stupid still, thinking they're gonna get away with it.
Mm.
He's just blind. I don't know.
Mm.
But I guess Alan's never been that smart. AJ brings up, besides being a doctor, sometimes we could be book smart but stupid in life, and that's what Alan is, in my opinion. Prove me wrong, people. AJ brings up Nikki. He's a little passive aggressive to Alan when they're talking, so I guess it's gonna come out. He's asking a lot of questions. Alan makes excuses. He shows Alan a check. He's like, "Well, what were you doing with this?"
Mm-hmm.
Um, Alan tells AJ the truth. Clearly, he's not happy about it. He says, maybe Nikki was confused. You don't know, like, I wasn't there. Like, I don't know how Nikki handled it. Might not have wanted to, or she might not have wanted to, like, deal with all this stress that you and my mom have given her.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody likes her. It was made clear. I think Lila was the only one nice to her, as always.
Mm-hmm.
Lila always gives everybody a chance, and I feel like because that's who you're bringing home. Like Lila is accepting until she doesn't have to be. You know what I mean? Like whatever. If they would have let it go, but I guess they needed whatever. They had to get rid of Nikki for some reason. Um, AJ tells Alan not to call him son and runs out. I'm not your son. He almost drinks, but Monica stops him. I don't know where they're at. Are they like in like
There's
another house?
the boathouse.
The boathouse.
Yeah, it's actually still a current set on the show. I was like, oh, that's the same set. Oh my god.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
Monica stops him. Alan, she's like, Alan loves you. We just did this for you. She tries to get through to him. AJ cries. Monica begs him and apologizes. It was a really sweet scene. I felt really bad, and I had to relook up. I'm like, did she get an because I know she in the '90s she had gotten a nomination for something. I thought, and it was for a supporting actress, and I feel like this was very supporting in this.
Who, Leslie Charleston?
Yeah, Leslie
I think it was
Charleston.
for Monica's breast cancer storyline.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Mhm.
Um, I think that's it with them.
Yeah.
So it ain't looking good for them. I was surprised that AJ didn't drink. He almost did, but he didn't. And speaking of AJ, I do have these are his hot sauces that are out. I got the red pepper punch,
Sean Kanan. Yeah.
Sean Kanan,
He did a great job in those scenes too. Like he did a really
and
great
the mango madness.
job.
Do
Hmm.
you like hot sauce? I don't even know.
Yeah.
This one's not supposed to be super hot. This one, I mean, mango habanero is usually hot, and it has a snake on there, so it might be hot. They're
Hmm.
not trying to admit I literally just got them in the mail yesterday, and I almost dropped them, so they almost broke. So I would have licked it off the floor. No, I'm kidding. Um, so yeah, so I still gotta try them, and yeah, Sean did a great job with this. I
He did
mean, for
a really great job.
I don't think he was in a soap before this, right? But he was in Karate Kid.
Yes, and he's done a couple things. He's in a syndicated show. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like in the 80s. Like,
Interesting.
yeah,
I'll look it up for next time.
yeah.
I know there are some things I missed with Ned and Julia. I think talked at one point.
Hmm.
Julia doesn't know where she stands. She doesn't feel like. I think Ned is using her as just for sex.
Hmm.
It feels like, and she doesn't know where they stand.
Hmm.
Um. Oh, Julia also offered Jenny a job,
Hmm.
and Jenny was like, "No." She's like, "I don't. I'm not going to take your guilt job."
Yeah.
um. And she's like, "Well, you're the best person for the job, whatever." And so, like, I don't blame Jenny.
No.
She should have been a good friend.
Hmm.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Anything else you want to tap on?
Just I felt
It
bad.
was the. Okay.
Just I felt bad for AJ. I think he did a great job in those scenes.
He did, yeah.
I hope Karen gets exonerated. I hope they find out the truth somehow.
I don't know. It doesn't seem good.
Doesn't seem promising, and I don't think Brenda's gonna get in trouble for it either. So that's frustrating.
The only thing Brenda can do to redeem herself is go to the board and go to the principal and admit that she did everything. She
Right?
does that, which I don't think she's going to do.
No.
Then I would probably be like, all right, I can deal with her now. But I just feel like they're just going to keep that tension between her and Karen forever. So, or
Yeah.
whatever happens. I don't know. I'm excited to watch more though, because I'm in it to win it for all of these, except for the Bill Holly stuff. Even though I love my Emma Sands, which is so upsetting. I like seeing her on at least anyway.
Yeah, I
Um,
like Sam's a lot. It's a shame that I think she came back for a very like convoluted and weird story. So she's only on a year. So
what for this year?
yeah. Mhm.
Hmm. Yeah, but she just fits right in. I guess because she was already on in the '80s. Because
Mhm.
like her and Robin already like get along pretty well. Like if she's only on a year, she made some good relationships quick. Her
Mhm.
and Tiffany, which her and Tiffany go back to the '80s, so of course
Yeah.
that picks up their friendship.
And she is kind of playing surrogate mom to Robin right now too.
And I saw that one commercial for the 30th anniversary of GH, so it was the 30th anniversary that year.
Yes, we get the new opening credits in the next episode we watch.
Oh, really?
First. Yeah.
Oh, shit, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
Faces of the Heart one. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I was wondering when that came because we still have the old school one.
Yeah, it's probably.
Which
I think I've seen them on YouTube. It's April 1st, '93. So the next episode we watch will be.
I like all the credits. I mean, I know Karen loves the '80s one, but I
They
like
were
all the future ones.
they did the one that we're seeing now for a really really long time.
The one that the one in yeah, yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know when it started. I want to say the '70s that one started,
Yeah,
right?
probably. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that went all the way until '93.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I always liked all their credits except the current ones. I
Yeah,
don't love
go
them.
back to the old school one. To be honest, it's better than what they have now.
Yeah, I feel the same. It's very, I don't know. It's just not inviting. You know what I mean? Like
Nope.
where like where you have like the comfort of Days of Our Lives, they always keep the same theme. It's and even if they did, like you said, if they went back to the old one, it's still like, oh, it's General Hospital. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
a comfort, you know. But this one is not. It's just like we're General Hospital
Yeah.
and we're mean. Like I don't, I don't know. It just doesn't seem. I don't know. It's not inviting.
Right.
Like
Mm-hmm.
I always love a good credit. It's like if you know if the Melrose Place theme, I love Dallas, and
Mm-hmm.
like the show's not the same to me without the theme. Um,
Mm-hmm.
which we're watching on our Patreon. The All My Children watches. Like when the themes cut, we're all like, oh, because we love the All
Yeah.
My Children theme.
Oh,
Like
that theme's iconic with the pictures. Yeah. So,
right, right.
so
That's
good.
when I started watching too. So that's what I seen. And I
Mm-hmm.
even liked when they changed it because
Mm-hmm.
their their credits stayed like inviting.
Yeah, they did.
Um, but anyway, anything else to say about these episodes? I'm excited for the new theme now that I know.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens next. So,
Yeah, I want Tiffany to snap the fuck out of it because I love Tiffany and I don't love her now. It's bothering me.
yeah,
Ugh.
it's
Like
yeah, it's
at
hard.
least with Holly, at least with Holly, like I love Holly in the '80s and I love Holly currently because But I guess we have to have the drama. So
Yeah.
and Tiffany is bringing the drama because she's being an asshole. And I wonder what's going to happen with AJ. I don't know his summer storyline, so I don't know where we're going with that.
I kind of do because that's when I started watching the summer of '93. So,
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm guessing he's going to be involved with Jason and Jagger and all of that. I don't know otherwise.
Yeah.
Because you said Nikki comes back soon for a couple episodes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you did like All My Children, I did mention our Patreon. Join our Patreon for All My Children watches. Airing 2 times a week. Derek hosts, and we just watched 1991. All My Children. Janet, or what is that? What are you're calling it? The Tale
Was
of Two Sisters in a Well.
that works too. Story teaches us on well, yeah.
Story of Two Sisters. Tale.
I like the
Tale.
tail. That's fun.
We're switching that. Like,
Yeah.
so you can watch that if you join our Patreon today, $3 a month. For our daytime tier. And we do 2 episodes a week, and it's great stuff. I love it. We love it. We're
So
not going to stop.
much. Please join us.
Yeah, it's great. Subscribe, like, and comment. Did you watch the GH in 1993? What were your favorite storylines? Did you hate the painting storyline like we do? I wanted to like it, but it just wasn't good.
It wasn't good at all.
um, but anyway, thanks for joining us today, and see you again next time. Bye,
Bye.
guys.